Greetings, brothers. Welcome to the Blood Angels Commander channel.
Okay. Good evening. Hello everybody. How are you? Good evening. Happy Sunday night. Give me a second here to just check everything is good. You can hear me okay, right guys? Gareth says the first time you've seen the intro with the Scottish part. Yeah, I kind of saved that intro for Sunday nights. It's kind of just a little bit more chill, I guess. 555 on side, thanks Jason. Solace, good evening. What detachment am I doing? Liberator Assault Group. I think it's the best for doing melee units, right? So there's going to be a little bit of a different format tonight. Normally we spend like, 15 minutes on each list. We do like 5 lists, but because the new codex is coming out, or is out now, and a bunch of people have it, I have it as well actually. Let me get that out, because I'm probably going to need it at some point during the show. We're going to do 8 lists tonight, so we'll probably do like 10 minutes a list, maybe. So a little bit more quick fire. I mean, I don't have very much experience playing the new codex. I guess we still don't know if the new codex has the correct points in it. I guess we're waiting to hear on that. But, yeah, we can dive into lists. There might even be a couple of old lists here, because a couple of people said they're playing tournaments, still using... I mean, technically, we're still using the old points, right? So we might have some old lists, we might have some new lists, but we've got 8 lists, so we're going to get fired straight into it. If you enjoy the stream at any point, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please consider doing so. And we are here every Sunday night, just after 8 PM, for about an hour and 15 minutes, sort of, where we review lists. So if you want to get your list on the show for next week, when the stream ends, it's nice and simple. Just comment your list, like a text file like the one you see on the screen right now. Just pop it in the comments for this video when the stream ends. And then, might not be on next week's show, but you'll be in the queue, and you'll be on the show soon enough, right? So, let's get fired into Red Covenant. He likes to play balanced lists with plenty of scoring options. He's going to be testing out a melee-heavy list next week. And it's going to be the chaplain with the blade guard, the captain with assault intercessors, and both inside impulsors. So I guess, I think we're going to see more impulsors, right? I really think they're a great unit for 80 points. I think they're kind of an action monkey unit for 80 points. Blood Buffalo went 2-1 in his first tournament yesterday, playing guard. My loss won. Oh, the guy you beat, you won the tournament. You came 6 out of 32. No one in my personal life cared. Well done, dude. My wife's sitting in the room chuckling when I said that out loud. She knows that, yeah, no one in my personal life really cares too much about my tournament wins either. But hey, I care. You care. Thanks, love. We can.
I like it when you crush them.
Oh. Okay, so well done, Blood Buffalo. Good effort. Right, so we've got a captain with a rage-fueled warrior. I think I'm going to do a video on this guy this week and work out, like, how much damage he can do in all the various situations. We've got the chaplain with speed of the Primarch, which I think attached to Blade Guard is actually kick-ass, because what it means when the Blade Guard get charged, they can get +1 attacks and +1 strength and +1 wound, and then you can remove the battle shock as well if you need to do that.
I have awoken.
Hey Gareth, thanks so much for becoming a channel member. I do really appreciate that. We've got Lamartis and Astaroth and Mephiston. This is quite a bit of points and characters. I mean, a captain, there's about 100. I think the chaplain is like 90. It's about 500 points in characters. It's maybe a little bit high, but maybe it's okay. We've got Astaroth, we've got Martis, we've got Mephiston. We've got 5 assault intercessors take with the captain. We've got 10 assault intercessors with jump packs. We've got 5 with the jump packs. We've got another 5 with the jump packs. And then we've got 2 10-man Death Company bricks. We've got the Brutalis Dreadnought and the double impulsor. So I would, if this was me playing this list, I'd probably start like the Brutalis and one of Astaroth plus 10 Death Company in reserve. I'd probably put at least one unit of 5 jump assault intercessors in reserve. I might be willing to split up one of these jump assault intercessors, like this third squad of 10. I'd maybe make that into 5 and then take another scoring option. I mean, I guess for scoring units, you've got 2 impulsors and you've got 2 assault intercessors with jump packs. You've got Mephiston. You don't have any infiltrators. We were talking a lot about infiltrators the other night, how useful they can be. Yeah, and then two 10-man Death Company bricks. Like, how many actual drops is this? Like, because that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's like 11 units. I feel like there's something in this list that just isn't gelling quite with me. The Blade Guard and the Chaplain and the Impulsor is good. The Assault Intercessors with the Captain in the Impulsor is good. I think it's probably just... I don't really like running 210 Death Company bricks because Death Company bricks can get picked off and killed pretty quickly. And it's the same as like... yeah, I mean, I just think that, like, the second you put 2 10-mans into a unit, or 2 10-mans into a list, it's a lot of points. Yes, it's dropped in points now, I guess. It's like only 270, 370 with the characters. But to lose 370 points, and I wouldn't say those units are very durable at all, right? Like, I don't think Death Company Marines are durable. Oh no, they've dropped a lot actually, so it's like 330. Okay, so maybe this is okay. I think the one thing that I would probably question is, do you need 525 points in characters? That feels like an awful lot. I think my tournament list had about 350. I'm going to check that, just so I'm not lying. I was going to say yeah, let me check. So my tournament list had 120 plus, so yeah, I had 350 exactly. This is like 525. You know, that's 175 points in characters. So what can we do with 175 points? We could have 2 more units of Outriders. I think these 4 characters I'm on board with, but I think I'm not entirely sure about Mephiston here. You don't have infiltrators to hold your backfield, so there could be an argument for like getting rid of Mephiston and just getting those infiltrators. Single Brutalis Dreadnought, I guess, in reserve might be fine, but yeah, there's... What unit are you... Yeah, I guess in this list, what unit are you leaving on your home field objective? Like 5 Assault Intercessors with jump packs? Because I don't think they're designed to protect your home field objective. I think if the enemy has some good deep strike, then you probably lose your home field objective, and I think when you lose your home field objective, it usually messes with your whole battle plan, and sometimes costs you the game, right? So, Morning Speargrass, yeah, I think I have to say that we need to change. I would change that. It's a little bit sad that people aren't also including the Sanguinary Guard, but I guess that's just personal choice. Also, the thing about 10 Assault Intercessors with jump packs, the way I see Assault Intercessors with jump packs is like... Well, 10's actually worse than the 5s, right? Because by having a 10, you only get 1 Power Fist per 10, where you've got a 5, you get 1 Power Fist per 5. So the 10 is like suboptimal. And they're just toughness 4 Marines that die pretty quick. And usually I feel like the 20 chainsword attacks plus 4 power... Like, these guys are designed to kill low toughness infantry. I guess they do some mortal wounds, but my experience with the mortal wounds is it's pretty random, right? Like, most of the times these guys just do a couple of mortal wounds at best. So I think based on that, I would say, like... I'd probably split... Well, I'd make that 5. I think 3 units of 5 is good. And I'd use the other 80 points to add scouts or outriders or something that can actually I don't actually want to say a squad of infiltrators because in incursors, even though incursors can do sticky objectives, I don't think they're a great unit for holding your home field objective. But yeah, I think for me, it feels like just slightly too many points in characters, slightly too many assault intercessors with jump packs, and maybe a couple of more things that could do scoring units, because in this list, the 2 units of 5 and the 2 impulsors will be your units that can do actions, and I guess Mephiston, which is 5 units for actions. And 5 is fine, but then what's like I don't know what you're holding your backfield with. And my experience tells me when I don't have something dedicated to hold my backfield, I think for Space Marines it's super easy. Like, it's got to be infiltrators. If you don't have the infiltrators, someone will take your backfield out and you'll lose games because of it. And I used to run heavy intercessors because I thought heavy intercessors are really good. They're really strong. They're really durable. It always kept coming back to bite me in the ass that someone would be able to deep strike in and take out my heavy intercessors. Whereas, like, when I have the infiltrators, I just don't have to worry at all. Jay Baldwin said, I like the melee-focused army list you did yesterday. I'm glad you liked it. It might not be perfect, right? But I'm just trying to throw out suggestions. Did you say what lists you're going through today? No, I mean, I'm going through 8 lists, Terrence. Were you trying to get a list looked at or something? Any timelines on fielding the Angelic Host you proposed in your last video discussing them? Probably after November. I wasn't going to rush to do Angelic Host. I think Angelic Host is a weird attachment because it doesn't have any buffs for melee units, right? And like, our army is all about melee units. And I certainly don't have 12 Inceptors. I think I have 6, 3 Plasmas, 3 Bolters. So, I don't know if I really have the models to play Angelic Host. I think probably before then, Gareth, someone will win a tournament with Angelic Host and I'll cover it. But I'm not entirely sure who that will be. And it's probably going to be someone else other than me. It's probably going to be like someone from Art of War or something. Because I think I watched a video from the Art of War guys, and I think they really like the look of Angelic Host, right? But excuse me. I really think it's weird that there is no buffs to melee units, and usually we get a lot of value out of the. Usually, if Blood Angels don't have that +2 strength and +1 attack, we don't kill very much stuff in melee, right? There's nothing weirder than the Lost Detachment. Yeah, I mean, the Lost Detachment is the Crusade detachment, I feel like. It's not, I don't think it's a serious competitive detachment. Okay, we're looking at Paul Banks next. He's got a doubles tournament in the beginning of October, and my teammate is running Custodes. So if his tournament is at the beginning of October, he's potentially still using the old rules. His role is to score primary while I concentrate on secondaries. I went for Angelic... Oh, well, he's not. He's using the new rules. Okay, so he went for Angelic Host to make use of the uppy-downy and 2 small but hard-hitting Sanguinary Guards to provide help where needed. Hopefully the 15 points I have left will be enough for Gleaming Pinions on the captain. Okay, so you've got a captain with a Thunderhammer and Relic Shield. I don't really rate the Thunderhammer. I'd just take the Power Fist. I don't think it's worth the -1 to hit. And then you've got Dante. So you've got 3 units of Assault Intercessor with the jump packs, plasmas. You're actually, each of these units is actually allowed an extra plasma pistol. You're allowed 2 plasma pistols per 5. So if you can, you should take your extra plasma pistol. Because why would you not take an extra plasma pistol? You've got 2 3-man units of Sanguinary Guard. So you're attaching a character to a 3-man unit of Sanguinary Guard. I mean, it's 1,000 points is very different from 2,000 points, but it's definitely suboptimal to pay like 130 points for a character that attaches to a 150 point unit. I do think Sanguinary Guard have a very high points cost at the moment. You then have 2 units of Scouts and the Calidus Assassin. You might have actually gone too heavy on action stuff here, because in the Angelic Host, you're not going to have a whole lot of damage here at all, right? Assault Intercessors in Angelic Host are only Strength 4. So most of your attacks are Strength 4 and you're losing attacks. Sanguinary Guard are only Strength 6. You do have the blades on them. Strength 6 AP 3. And then you've got a couple of units of Scouts. And you've also got the Calidus Assassin, which I actually think she's kind of hard to play at the moment. I guess she does score stuff effectively. But I really think this 1,000 points has no damage output or very little damage output, right? Like, so the scouts are like, you've got the combat knives on them, which is nice, but you don't get +1 attack, you don't get plus strength, so you've got your scouts with strength 4, you've got your Sanguinary Guard with strength 6, you've got all these assault intercessors with strength 4 and a couple of mortal wounds when they charge, you've got Dante and the captain, and I think this is probably why Angelic Host is going to be hard to play, and then you've put a Calidus Assassin, so yeah, sure, you're going to score, you've got a bunch of stuff that can score secondaries. You've got a bunch of stuff that can move fast, that can redeploy, that can do actions. But, like, are scouts needed in Host? I mean, it's a good question. Are scouts needed in Host when you can pick up 2 jump pack units per turn? Groovy Bones, yeah. Interesting name, Groovy Bones. Yeah, I mean, it is a good question. Are scouts needed? Possibly not. I almost wonder if it's worth dropping one of these squads of Sanguinary Guard and Dante, which is 280 points, and like a squad of Scouts, which gives you like 345 points to take 10 Death Company with Astaroth. You would still have 1 squad of Sanguinary Guard, 3 squads of Jump Intercessors. Yeah, I'd probably do that actually. I'd probably lose Dante and 3 Sanguinary Guard. I just think 10 Death Company with the devastating wounds from Astaroth would give you some damage output. What would you really lose? You'd lose 1 squad of Scouts, and you'd lose 1 small 3-man unit of Sanguinary Guard. I think that's got to be better. And then you get the Calidus Assassin, which I think is fine. It scores points. She doesn't really do a lot of damage. I think they nerfed her Vex stratagem pretty effectively. I think she's hard to get. The CP increase on the enemy units now. Gareth's building a Blood Angels list from scratch and was really drawn to Angelic Host. I typically played Wood Elves in the old world, and that army is all about movement. I think Angelic Host will be very similar in positional play. I think it'll be a great detachment for positional play. I just worry that you're going to come up against armies where you will struggle to kill things, and if you are not, like if you're playing Imperial Knights or Chaos Knights or Armored Guard, like there's armies where you are just not going to have the tools to kill their units. And if I wouldn't say that Blood Angels are a durable army, so if you're not killing opponents' units and you're just having to tank a bunch of damage every time, you're going to die and you're going to lose. And I guess that's my worry with Angelic Host. Like, and that's probably like Astaroth plus 10 Death Company, Angelic Host, are probably the best potential you have for damage output, because your low strength isn't a problem because you have devastating wounds on the whole squad every time you charge, and you can fall back and charge, right? So I think if you're going to play Angelic Host, I think bottom line, if I was going to do it, I'm not even sure I can do it because I don't think I've got the right units, but I was going to do it, I think, at least in my head, it would make total sense that, like, I have to have Astaroth, I have to have 10 Death Company, and I have to have them rapid ingressing. So at least I've got, like, a missile that will do a bunch of damage to stuff that I can deploy anywhere on the map I want, right? Okay, so we've got 80 people watching, we've got 27 likes. Let's see if we can get a few more likes on tonight's show, if that's okay, guys. Alright, 2 in, 2 out. Sorry, I missed your list last week, actually, 2 in, 2 out, so I've definitely got it here this week. So, he's got a lag army with, he's played it once against Orcs, and he beat the Orcs on WTC layout. It's very mobile. Let me read what's in the list, and then we'll come back to what he says about the list. So we've got a Chaplain with a jump pack with the speed of the Primarch, so fight first Chaplain. Dante, the Judiciar with the Alto 6s, and we saw this last week actually. The Judiciar with Gift of Foresight is pretty cool. It gives him a save on a 6, and it also gives him potential devastating wounds guaranteed. And then you've got the Sanguiner. We have 1 Impulsor, and I assume that we'll have something to go inside that with... I guess it's going to probably be Blade Guard plus a Judiciar inside the Impulsor. I think that's good, and I think we're seeing that more often now. So we've got 2 assault intercessor units with jump packs. We've got 2 ballistas dreadnoughts. We've got the 6 blade guard in the impulsor. We've got 5 death company. I guess they are with that chaplain to give them +1 to wound. We then have 2 units of plasma inceptors. We have a squad of infiltrators. We have 6 angry guard to go with Dante, and we've got unit of scouts. Okay. Scoring units wise, then we've got the impulsor. We get the 2 units of assault intercessors. Potentially inceptors can do scoring, and then the scouts. So yeah, and you get the infiltrators as well. That's good. So Sanguinar, Dante, inceptors. Rapid Ingress Angry Guard, turn 2. The ballistas. Alright, so you're telling me a little bit about your game. The ballistas left a truck with 4 wounds that I popped with Sangry Guard. Dante's pistol being strength 9, now rolled clutch. Yeah, Dante's pistol, I guess, being strength 9 is somewhat good against like rhinos and impulsors and orc trucks and stuff like that. The 5-up feel no pain against Strat came in handy against tank shot for the blade guard. So did Advance and Charge and Death Company. I struggled with anti-armor even against trucks. Yeah, I mean, this is one of the reasons Blood Angels, the loss of Infernal Pistols makes transports more scary for Blood Angels to deal with. 3 fight first units can come in handy, especially on the Death Company chaplain. How have you got 3? Oh, because the Sanguinar. I may try with 10 Death Company and Arthstrath, maybe an Impulsor with the Company Heroes Captain. Keen to see your thoughts and see if we can improve this. Okay. All the lists I build require models I don't already own. However, I've got a pretty decent collection. It would be possible to send in a list of units I own and a list of suggestion units. Yeah, I mean, by all means, UK Cuban, send it in and we'll see what we can do to help you. Not a problem. Right. Struggled with anti-armor. Well, I mean, you get 260 points of Inceptors. You could get some Gladiator Lancers in for those points. Wait, was this 2,000 exactly? Like, changing that Death Company to a 10 needs like 115, and then changing Lamartes up would be the same. So you need to gain 115. So you could drop the Inceptors, that gives you 15 extra points. Yeah, that's a tough one, actually. I do think, like, 2 Assault Intercessors with jump packs, the Impulsor, and a unit of Scouts and the Infiltrators, like, you have to keep all those. If you're going Dante and the Sangry Guard, fine, it's good. Astrath with 10 Death Company is also good. I mean, Double Ballistas Dreadnought is not too bad. The Inceptors seem like a strange pick, actually, right? Like, because I think if you go into Angelic Host, right, and you go tons of Inceptors and tons of Plasma, that's great. Discord is open to everyone. Just type !Discord, dude. Hey Phil, how you doing? The question or the problem, I guess, is so Inceptors are anti-elites, right? They have like Plasmas that do 3 damage, and they have 3 shots. Sorry, and they have AP 3. They're good at killing elites. They're not so good at killing armor. But like Sangry Guard are good at killing elites. Death Company are somewhat good at killing elites. Blade Guard are also good at killing elites. So I feel like the problem here is like you've got Blade Guard, Death Company, Sangry Guard, and Inceptors, and all 4 of those units. Why does no one play Lamartes? I mean, lots of people play Lamartes, right? His -1 damage is very good. His lethal hits is also pretty darn good as well, to be totally honest with you, when you're at strength 10. But I guess everybody was playing him for a year. He was like the only Death Company option. So now, in the last 6 months, they've made, or maybe not even the last 6 months, in the last 6 weeks, Dante's become more of an option, and Astrath has become more of an option, and people are probably honestly sick of playing Lamartes because he was the only option for like a year. German Zamora. So Lamartes is he's a very good pick into 10-man Death Company. Just he was the only pick for like a year, so people are probably bored of it. I know that's why I had Dante in my tournament list, because I was bored of playing Lamartus plus 10 in every game. Yeah, so I think you've got 5 units that are all killing elites. I think I would change one of them. Even, arguably the Sanguinar is kind of a unit that comes in and kills elites as well. So, and also sometimes you have the Judisaur plus the Blade Guard and the Sanguinar. Those two choices seem to be, like, normally on most people's lists, sort of mutually exclusive, right? People either go for the Sanguinar and bring him in, or they go with the Blade Guard and the Judisaur. Most people don't go with both. And then, I suppose in your list as well, you've gone for triple fight first. Most people don't go triple fight first. Most people go one fight first. So if you're struggling against armor, it feels like you have to give up some of those other tools to have some more stuff that kills armor. I wouldn't say Ballistus Dreadnoughts are necessarily bad at killing armor, but they're very average, right? You get 2 strength 12 shots, you get 2 strength 10 shots. I guess, like, statistically, if you're shooting like a toughness 12 enemy, you're probably only going to do like maximum like 5 damage per Ballistus Dreadnought, even with its rerolls that it's got included. So they're an average unit for killing armor. I mean, you could add a 3rd Ballistus Dreadnought and lose something. You could add Predator Destructors, you could add Gladiator Lancers, you could add a Vindicator tank. I think there's a lot of things you could add, but I think you should probably think about losing or changing some of your other options to make that happen. Because I played one Ballistus Dreadnought in the tournament that I played in, and it is fine. Like, I don't think Ballistus Dreadnoughts are great. I think they do a job at 140 points. I think 2 of them are okay. Like 4 las cannons at strength 12, 4 crack missiles at strength 10, with some baked in rerolls. So you're probably hitting with 3 las cannons, you're probably hitting with 3 crack missiles. Like, it's not bad. AP3 and las cannons, AP2 and the crack missiles. So the opponent maybe maybe they fail 1 or 2 las cannons, maybe they fail like 1 crack missile, then you're like 3d6 damage, which I think it probably, maybe they CP one of them or they save a little bit better. So it probably does like 5 damage. So yeah, I mean, like, if you had 3 of them, maybe you can kill an enemy tank in 1 turn. I think with 2 of them, you're very lucky to kill something, right? That's the way I would look at it. So I don't think this is bad, 2 in, 2 out, but just some little tweaks, maybe. Okay, we're going to go into list number 4 by CD Saints, and his list is called Jumpy Boys, and he is Angelic Host. Okay, so lots of Jumpy Boys. We have Captain with the Jump Pack, we have Mephiston, we have Dante, we have Sanguinar. Worth noting that Mephiston can't do the up and down and stuff because he isn't a jump unit. It's only jump units that can do the up and down stuff in Angelic Host. We've got the 2 units of Jump Pack Assault Intercessors. We've got the 2 units of 6 Plasmas. This is similar to what I recommended doing, actually. We have the Infiltrators. We have the 6 Sangre Guard times 2. So
I have awoken.
You've got a Captain leading 1 squad of Sangre Guard. Thanks so much for subscribing, Casper. You've got Dante leading the other Sangre Guard. One of the Sangre Guard has that enhancement that lets you move 6 inches. I think it's 6 inches, isn't it, when they move within range, or was it 9 inches? I'm sure it was 6. Maybe I think it's when they move within 9, you can move 6. Gleaming Pinions. Yeah, when you move within 9, you can move 6. Okay, so you get the 2 Sangre Guard, you got 2 units of Scouts. That's it, right? So, let me just process this for a minute. This is 2,000 points. I think this fits very close. Inceptors uppy downy every turn. So every turn we're going to put up and down the 2 units of Plasma Inceptors. So that's 520 points of Plasma Inceptors. We'll pick them up and put them down every turn. We've got the 2 units of Sangre Guard. We've got the Gleaming Pinions. We've got Sacrificial Jump Pack Intercessors and Scouts to score secondaries. And then when those units die, we'll use the strat to get the Sangre Guard full rerolls and hits and wounds. We're weak against heavy armor, but we should have a lot of missions to play to get around that. Yeah, so this is what I was saying. So you got the Plasma Inceptors coming up and down that will deep strike within 3. They'll terrorize your opponent. You've got the Infiltrators to secure your backfield. You actually have like 600 points of Sangre Guard, and then the 2 Dante and the Captain buffing them. You got the Sanguinar for potential fight first. You've got 2 units of jump intercessors, and you've got 2 units of scouts. So my thought is, like, you have a lot of tools here, and you have a lot of cool stuff, but, like, you're kind of weak on trying to hold onto objectives, right? You don't have any impulsors, or you don't really have anything beyond, like, a toughness 4 body you can put on an objective. You do have Mephiston, who can lone operative onto an objective. You do have the Sanguinar, who can lone operative objective. So you have that, but it feels like a little bit weak. And then, yeah, you're screwed again. You got nothing that can kill heavy armor. Because even if, let's say the enemy has like a toughness 12 enemy, your Sanguinary Guard only wound that enemy on 6s because your strength 6 on the sword with Dante. So even with full hits and wound rerolls, it's still going to be tragic because your strength 6. So this is the problem that I have with Angelic Host. And I mean, I guess the unit that has the captain attached, at least on the charge, they'll be strength 7. So they will wound on 5s. Full rerolls on 5s is actually a 55% chance to wound. So I guess like your Sanguinary Guard, which would get like 24 attacks, they would hit on 3s rerolling. So that's like 88% hits, right? So it would be about 22 attacks. So you get about 11 AP3 minus 2 into like a Land Raider or something. But like, the Sanguinary Guard with Dante can't do any damage to vehicles. The Inceptors, you don't really want to be using them to kill vehicles because they're definitely a suboptimal target. Again, they're only going to be wounding on probably 5s, even though they are twin-linked. And, yeah, this is my problem with Angelic Host, right? And this is why I think at the moment I'm just focused on lag, because we know what lag can do and we can know it can be really competitive. And there's a lot, like, if we go back to 6 months ago, maybe even more than 6 months ago, I think it was about 6 months ago, you remember at the start of this edition, Blood Angels only got +1 strength from the Red Thirst. And they changed it to +2 strength. And when it was only +1 strength, Blood Angels were doing terrible in the meta. Everybody was saying, don't play Blood Angels, play Gladius Task Force. No one was. I wasn't playing Blood Angels. I was playing Gladius Task Force. And then when they changed them to +2 strength, most people said, "Oh, +2 strength won't change that much. We don't think Blood Angels will be all that good." But it did. +2 strength was huge, right? Like +2 strength changed the army from like unplayable to actually really useful. So this detachment does not have plus anything strength. Does not have +1 attacks when you charge, and then. So your wound roll, and then doesn't have a stratagem that gives you lance, right? And I feel like it doesn't. Yeah, I feel like you need that stratagem that gives you lance. Maybe in this detachment you need to equip all your Sanguinary Guard with what are they? The spears, but the spears get even less attacks. So it's gonna feel really hard to do this into knights and any sort of heavy armor list or high toughness demons list. What's the best units Blood Angels have access to for anti-armor? Honestly, it's probably Gladiator Lancers. So maybe you can make Angelic Host work if you put 2 Gladiator Lancers in the list. But I guess like they don't synergize at all with your detachment bonus. But then here's the thing. Gladiator Lancers don't synergize with the Liberator Assault Group detachment bonus, and plenty of people have put double Gladiator Lancers into their Liberator Assault Group lists, or back when it was called Sons of Sanguinius, and won tournaments. Like a lot of people won tournaments with Sons of Sanguinius with double Gladiator Lancer, right? You know? So maybe that's the missing thing. Like everyone's like hyper focused on like, oh cool, I can pick up and put down 2 units every turn, and I'm going to do that with Inceptors to maximize the Inceptors. But maybe that's a trap. Like maybe you want to put 1 unit of Inceptors up and down, and 1 unit of Assault Intercessors that are going to do actions, or behind enemy lines, or score some nonsense. And then you do find a way to squeeze in those 2 Gladiator Lancers or something of the equivalent, right? They still have an advance and shoot and charge stratagem, don't they? One from your army that advanced or charged. Yeah, so they still have the advance and shoot. Oh no, it's death. It's jump pack units only. Oh, that's annoying. But hey, I mean, maybe you do still need to just put a couple of Gladiator Lancers in there. And I suppose the thing is, if you did have Gladiator Lancers in there and the enemy does kill your Lancers, you could use the stratagem that lets your Sangre Guard reroll hits and wounds against the target that killed the Lancer, and that could be meaningful. I just really dislike Strength 6 on the charge. I think Strength 6 on the charge is bad because you want... And the list I said before, like, so we did Dante plus 6 Sangre Guard and a Captain plus 6 Sangre Guard. I probably actually... I don't think Dante is going to be meaningful in Angelic Host, because I think Strength 6 on the charge is bad. So I think probably what I would do is I'd lose Dante in the second unit of 6 Angry Guard and do Astaroth plus the Death Company, because they get devastating wounds on the charge, and I think devastating wounds on the charge. And they have more higher strength weaponry as well, right? Power Fists are like Strength 8, and Eviscerators are like Strength 7, so you're unlikely to have those really, really terrible wound rolls of 6s into targets. I mean, wound rolls of 5 are not much better, but wound rolls of 6s are just tragic. You're not going to do anything with that. And then what you lose on that is you will make up some of them with devastating wounds, right? Eviscerators are Strength 7, Power Fist are Strength 8. Yeah. Okay, Nick, we're on to you next. I love the channel. An army list for the new book. It's always tricky to fit everything into 1,000 points, and you're always short of something. I expect fire support in this one. Okay, so I do like the fact that gladiators can be built as an impulsor. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna buy another gladiator thing and convert it so I've got double impulsor. So we got the captain with the impulsor. We've got a unit of aggressors. We've got the company heroes. Nice pick. Company heroes are probably really decent in a 1,000-point game, especially attached to a captain. We've got Outriders, we've got a Repulsor, we've got Scouts, we've got Terminators, and we've got a Deathwatch kill team. Oh, nice. Okay. I might have to see if I can bring up the profile of the Deathwatch kill team. I actually must admit, I haven't really looked at the Deathwatch kill team. I was planning on to do that for like a upcoming video to try and look at the Deathwatch kill team and the Grey Knight Terminators. Let me see if I've got the updated data sheet for the Deathwatch kill team. So the Deathwatch Sergeant has a Xenophasic Blade, which is Strength 5, -2, 1 damage, 4 attacks, dev wounds. Each time the model in this unit makes an attack, reroll hits of 1. If the target of that attack does not have the Imperium or Chaos keyword, you can reroll a hit instead. Okay, so you're getting a bit of reliability built into the Deathwatch kill team. I take it the Deathwatch kill team don't get any of your detachment buffs, right? Now you then have 4 Deathwatch veterans. 2 have shields. Shields gives them a 4-up invulnerable save. 2 have Thunderhammers. Are these heavy Thunderhammers? Deathwatch Thunderhammers. Deathwatch Thunderhammer is... Oh, it's 3 damage, dev wounds, 3 attacks. Weapon skill 4-up kind of sucks, but I guess you're getting rerolls of 1 to hit, or all rerolls. Oh, that's not too bad. Strength 10, -2, 3 damage, dev wounds. And then 2 power weapons. Kind of standard 5, -2, 1. Okay. We got how... I was going to say the Deathwatch are not... Oh, can they go inside the Repulsor as well? That's why I want to do a video on these. I want to check out what they... So they have Battle Line, Infantry, Imperium. Yeah, I'm wanting to get a borrow of the book so I can make a video on these guys. Okay, so the captain is meant to be the Blood Angels captain, stacking Finest Hour and the enhancement. Ian the company heroes going the impulsor. They have a bit of shooting to benefit from the firing deck. Do you know, I always forget that my fucking Impulsor has firing deck, man. I never use it. Oh, I'm so stupid. I literally have guys in that Impulsor every week and I don't use it. Why? Oh, thanks for reminding me, Nick. Oh, I'm so stupid. Why do I not do that? Terminators are a bit of a troubleshoot all-rounder with a free rapid ingress. They've got strength 10 for killing tanks. They do indeed. They also have that Oath of Moment synergy. I don't mind the Terminator squad. I'd probably have them all with Power Fists. I don't think the Chain Fists are meaning... So the Chain Fist, you lose one on your weapon skill, and you get anti-vehicle 3-up. I think that comes up so rare that I would just have all of them with Power Fists, but I think it's minor. I think if you want to put a couple of Chain Fists in there, it's fine. It might come up occasionally, but I think all Power Fists is maybe easier for like a cognitive load type thing. The aggressors go in their Impulsor with the Deathwatch veterans. I consider Land Raider for the assault ramp and better shooting, but it was, yeah, I mean, I think the Repulsor will get a lot of play now. It's 180 points. And yeah, you're right. Chain Fists are good against Toughness 12 when that comes up. Not that it comes up all that often, but it does come up, I guess, right? So I think aggressors... Repulsor is totally fine. The Deathwatch veterans are a random pick, but they're a bit of utility. They have Battle Line, 2 Storm Shields, and Strength 10. So the models that have the Storm Shields, are they the models with the Thunder Hammers? Every model in this unit can have their bolt gun and power weapon replaced with the following. So the 2 guys with power weapons have the shields, and then the 2 guys that have the Thunder Hammers just have Thunder Hammers. Is that right? And then the Sergeant has the Devastating Wounds Zeophasic Blade. I actually kind of like that for 100 points. I think that's fine. I did consider Flame Assault Centurions instead of Aggressors, but then I'm a little short of transports. Maybe Advanced and Charge Strategism help. The Centurions are still very, very slow. I played them 2 weeks ago. They're still very, very slow. If I had them, I'd be thinking about Eradicators instead of the Deathwatch vets. I have no jump infantry, but the Sanguinary Guard are overcosted, and I can't afford Death Company. I find the need to buy a character 2 is just a killer at 1,000 points. Yeah, I think Sanguinary Guard are going to be super difficult to put into 1,000 points. I agree with you on that. They're so expensive, especially when you add a character. You have no jump assault infantry. I'd be tempted to lose your 1 Outrider squad for 5 assault intercessors with jump packs. I might even be tempted to lose your 1 scout squad and your aggressors for 2 5-man jump intercessor squads with jump packs. Scouts are fine, but scouts usually die pretty quickly and they don't have the same damage output as the assault intercessors with jump packs. Like you said, aggressors are slow, they're potentially difficult to use. Would it be better to just have more jump infantry with chain swords? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, the flamers are probably fine. I think it would be a big change to start tweaking that. Because yeah, at that point you could say, do I need aggressors and terminators, and would it be better to just have Death Company plus a character? I actually like the terminators in 1,000 points. I think 3 aggressors, they're not too bad, I guess, for 1,000 points as well. So yeah, I think this is totally fine for 1,000. I might just take the jump infantry here, though, so just have 1 fast-moving jump pack unit, because they're always pretty useful to have, especially as the game sort of gets later and you need to move from point to point. I might even put that jump infantry squad in strategic reserve so we can bring them in. I don't often agree that a list without any jump infantry is decent for Blood Angels, but I mean, if you talk about melee units, the aggressors are good in melee, the company heroes are pretty good in melee, the terminators are pretty good in melee, so you've got you've got half of stuff in melee. Why the company heroes? The company heroes are insanely tanky, dude. They're four wounds per model, and they have -1 to wound the entire game, whether it's shooting or whether it's melee combat, and they surprise people as well, right? Like, I played against knights, so like normally a knight will charge your captain plus your captain's usually attached to assault intercessors, right? So the knight charges your captain, your assault intercessors, and it swings. It's like strength 14 claw or whatever they're called. Chaos Knights. They're swinging they're swinging at you. What are the carnivores swinging with? They're hitting you with a Reaper Chain Talon. It's strength 12. Sorry, it's strength 10, 6 attacks, AP 3 damage, right? So basically, like, if they hit jump intercessors, statistically, they've got weapon skill 2 up, so they hit you 5 times at AP 3, and it's flat 3 damage. So you've got 5 saves to take on your jump intercessors, typically at AP 3, or your regular intercessors at AP 3. So typically you would need to make you would 5 dice roll. Every dice that's not a 6 is a dead model, right? If the same knight hits the company heroes, it's only 4 saves because you're permanently -1 to wound. And if they have a bad roll, potentially it could only be 3. So it's only 3 or 4. It's only 4 saves now. It needs 2 swings to kill one guy, right? Because you have 4 wounds per model, and because they're swinging at you with 3 damage, that's really inefficient. So like normally if a carnivore would charge like a captain and 5 assault intercessors, there is a chance that he just kills everything. Like, all 5 intercessors are dead. In a tournament, someone charged my company heroes with a carnivore. He didn't kill a single company hero. I had one company hero lost 3 wounds. That was it. So like the squad was still, like, I didn't have to remove any models from the squad. The company heroes are legitimately good at surviving and standing on objectives. The -1 to wound is really powerful. Because, if the enemy shoot you with bolt rifles, they're only wounding you on 5s now. If you're 4 wounds per model, 2 damage weapons are good, but any 3 damage weapons are super inefficient. So like, one of the things that people like to do against Marines is shoot autocannons at them, like AP1 3 damage. Every failed save is a dead Marine. Well, autocannons will wound Marines on 2s, well, they only wound company heroes on 3s, and then every failed save is not a dead Marine. You need 2 failed saves. So I really like company heroes. I played them I had them in my tournament winning list. I think they're legitimate, and you know what? They surprise people because, like you just said in the chat, why are company heroes good? A lot of people would put damage into the company heroes unit and then be like, "Oh my god, I didn't actually do anything." I was playing against orcs in one of the games, and they charged the company heroes, and orcs have tons of like strength 10 power fists. Well, against the company heroes, those strength 10 power fists only wound on 3s. So rather than having like 10 wound rolls all wounding on 2s, now it's 10 wound rolls all wounding on 3s. Sometimes that can go, sometimes you can roll like 5 1s and 2s. So all of a sudden it's like, oh my goodness, the same thing happened. I think he charged the company heroes with like 10, like 6 meganobs or something, and he killed like 2 of them. And I was totally fine with that. I was like, you killed 2 company heroes. Company heroes are like 20 points less than 19 points per model. So if you use one of your best units and you only kill 2 of them, I'm pretty good with that, right? Let's move on to Alexander's list next. So it's a crazy list, but I think it might work. He's going to keep 2 dredge in reserve for rapid ingress, the captain with the company heroes, and the chaplain and the impulsor to start the game, and use scoring units to skewer secondaries while predators and dreadnoughts go to work. Okay, so he's still using old stuff. Sons of Sanguinius list. Okay, captain, chaplain, tech marine, 2 tech marines. We don't often see that in Blood Angels. We've got the impulsor. We've got 2 assault with jump packs. We've got 3 brutalis dreadnoughts. That is a little bit crazy. Multi-melters on all of them. We've got the company heroes. We've got the death company dreadnought times 2. These things are way too expensive, man. I was going to say field them as brutalis dreadnoughts, but you've already gone brutalis dreadnoughts. So you're trying to do 5 brutalis dreadnoughts. This is a crazy list. You've got infiltrators, you've got outriders, you've got 2 Predator Destructors. This is a weird list. You are... I was going to say, you're barely getting the most out of Sons of Sanguinius, because Sons of Sanguinius gives you +1 attack per model. Well, you're only attacking with like 5 dreadnoughts, so your whole army together is getting like +5 attacks. Whereas like if this was a 10-man unit of Death Company, it's getting +10 attacks. So it's a weird one. Like, you are getting the benefit on the whole unit, but your whole unit benefit is a lot less. And Brutalis Talon's already strength 12, I think. So +2 strength is not that meaningful when you're already at strength 12. Yeah. I don't think 5 Brutalis Dreadnoughts is probably the most competitive thing. I mean, you do have Infiltrators, which is good. You do have 1 unit of Outriders for scoring and 2 units of Assault Intercessors for scoring. What do you think of Eradicators and Blood Angels? I think they're okay. I mean, they're better in the Gladius detachment. But I mean, I've run Eradicators in a 10th edition tournament in Blood Angels. I ran them in 2 squads of 3s. They're pretty good at getting rid of like lower toughness enemy armor. Their AP is nice. They're fine. I wouldn't say they're amazing. Like I said, they're better in Gladius because you can run them in 6 with the biologists and get like the bursts, but they're okay. I haven't run Eradicators in like since Sons of Sanguinius detachment. I haven't run Eradicators though. Yeah, this is weird. Like 2 Tech Marines, 5 Brutalis Dreadnoughts, Outriders, Infiltrators, double Predator. It feels like it should be an Iron Storm list, honestly. Don't know if I feel like you get enough out of Sons of Sanguinius in here to use that as the detachment. I think if you're going to run 5 Dreadnoughts and 2 Predators, it does feel like Iron Storm, because that's like over half your points, right? I don't know what suggestions you want on this list, how you could make it stronger. The Death Company, I don't... Here's the bottom line, right? I don't think you can field Death Company Dreadnoughts right now at 220 points. They're like they're objectively worse than the Brutalis Dreadnoughts, and they are 60 points more expensive. So you're bleeding like 120 points here for barely nothing. So I would take your 440 points that you have in this and add, like, you could add Astaroth plus 10 Death Company and still have 110 points more, which would add like another unit of Assault Intercessors with jump packs, or another unit of Outriders, or even a 5-man unit of Vanguard Veterans. When you already have double Predators, Destructors, like, that's giving you a bunch of like long range fire support, and you've got 3 Brutalis Dreadnoughts flying forward with those multi-meltas. Like, I think you've got the fire support side of it sorted. Yeah, I think I would swap those for Astaroth plus 10 Death Company plus 5 Vanguard Veterans with Storm Shields. And then I think you've got a little bit of a jump detachment. You've got more stuff that's benefiting more wholly from the Blood Angels detachment. And you still make it a bit more difficult for your opponent to deal with. And you can rapid ingress Astaroth and the 10 Death Company. And they can be used a bit like a missile. What are you guys saying? I'm not sure if you can put the Death Watch in the Repulsor. They can only ride in the Imperial Agent's Rhinos. Ah, okay. Because they don't have the starter's keyword. Thanks for clarifying that, Wild Ace. I do appreciate it. You're more than welcome, Nick. No problem. Can you ally in a Deathwatch Rhino, though? Is that something you can do, or you can't do that? I'm just curious. I think I'm going to try and get a borrow. Like, I know a couple of people that have bought the Imperial Agents book. I need to borrow it and just read through it. Okay, we're going to move on to B.A. Baldy next. You can, if they have an Inquisitor attached. But you attach the Inquisitor to the Death Watch and then they can go into the Imperium transport. You can use transports from the agents as long as you have an agents unit to put them in. Oh, interesting. And you can have 2 agents units, right? So you can have like 1 kill team in a Rhino. You couldn't have 2 5-man kill teams, right? Because that seems like it would probably be broken. So you can have like 1 10-man kill team or a 5-man kill team, I guess, in a Rhino. Okay, so we've got early list for Liberator Assault Group. 2,000 points. Astaroth, 2 Jump Chaplains, and the Calidus. 5 Infiltrators, 5 Scouts, 3 times Jump Pack Intercessors, 10 Death Company, I guess, with Astaroth, 2 5-man Death Companies with the other 2, 6 Sanguinary Guard. I'm not sure I agree with Sanguinary Guard if you are not having someone lead them, because one of their biggest strengths is the -1 to hit and wound, and you give up the -1 to wound if you're not being led by a character, right? And I think this is why the Sanguinary Guard will probably come down in price, because they're super expensive for 6 models at the moment, to a point where, like, I don't know how many people are going to field them. Where are they? Yeah, if you're not led with a character, you give up the -1 to wound. So it feels bad, I think, to give up the -1 to wound here. You could lose one of these Jump Pack Chaplains and swap it out for captain that can lead the Sandguard. There's not many points difference in that, so you could almost swap that out. You got the Ball Predator, you got a single Vindicator tank, you got 45 jump wounds. The devastating wounds and 50% fight on Astaroth will be interesting to see how it maths out. I think Astaroth is good. I like him a lot. I've been playing him a little bit. The captain could be Dante depending on how much Death Company points are. Yeah, oh, you do have a captain on the Sanguinary. Sorry, I missed that. Don't know how I missed that. Okay, so the captain of the Sanguinary, that's okay then. You get the advance and shoot on the Vindicator. The thing is, if you're running a single tank, my experience tells me it's not good. Right? You can never run... I speak about it every week about people running 1 Gladiator Lancer. If you are running 1 tank, you have the potential to whiff your shooting because you only have 1 unit that is shooting. So I think... And a Ball Predator... In a list like this, I always question the Ball Predator a little bit because it's like... Sanguinary Guard can kill infantry very well. What does the Ball Predator do? It kills infantry. 20 Jump Pack Death Company can kill infantry very well. What does the Ball Predator do? It kills infantry. 15 Jump Assault Intercessors will also kill infantry very well. What does the Ball Predator do? Kills infantry. What are you weak against here? Heavy enemies. Heavy armor. Potentially elites, you know? So, like, double Vindicator in maybe losing... I guess you'd have to lose a squad of scouts in the Ball Predator to have double Vindicator. Would that be better in my eyes? Yes. Or even losing the Calidus Assassin, you know, for double Vindicator. You could almost argue that triple Vindicator would be even better. Because in the Blood Angels detachment, the lag detachment, Vindicators can advance and shoot, they can fall back and shoot. And they maybe fill that niche that you're struggling to kill heavy armor, while Vindicators are very good at killing heavy armor. They got strength 14 and they got D6 plus 3 shots. And they got Hunter Killer Missile. So, the kill team does look pretty cool to add. Yeah, I mean, the Death Watch with those heavy Thunder Hammers do look pretty good, actually. I'd be tempted to add them for 100 points. That's why I want to get the book. Yeah, so this is an okay list. I mean, I think going 20 Death Company, 6 Sanguinary Guard, 15 Jump Intercessors, 10 Scouts, 5 Infiltrators. I think all this is very solid. And arguably, maybe the Death Company can do a lot of the heavy lifting when you talk about killing armor, and they can do a good amount of it. I just don't see much point in the Ball Predator. And I also think I'm not playing the Calidus Assassin anymore. I was playing him, or her, rather, where you could put her down anywhere and she was just nightmarish to deal with. I don't think she's as much as a nightmare now. You don't really get her vec'd all that often. You already got like 3 jump pack infantry and 2 scouts. So you kind of already got 5 units that are pretty mobile and can do scoring. Do you really need this 6th unit if that's all she's doing? If that's all she's doing, you could rejig this to have like an impulsor. And then the impulsor can sit on an objective and the unit that comes out the impulsor can do some scoring. So I don't think it's a bad list. Like you said, Sanguinary Guard might change in points. Some other things might change in points. But I do not recommend that you take a single tank and expect it to do anything. It's the same as like when last edition people always used to take 1 dreadnought. And they said like 1 dreadnought just generally isn't that useful. Consider 2 dreadnoughts or don't consider any dreadnoughts, right? I think it's just a bit of weight of fire, but also like threats for your opponents. You know, like if there's only 1 tank on the board, they can kind of try and ignore it. If you've got 2 tanks, then maybe they can't do that. And also you can shoot both at the same target, and you can be a lot more threatening, I guess. All right, so we're going on to list number 8 for today. Is 1 Brutalis and 1 Gladiator also a bad combo? I wouldn't say the Brutalis is a shooting unit, right? Like if you're trying to build some anti-armor shooting, then the Brutalis is not that. The Brutalis is an interesting one because I think I've only played the Brutalis Dreadnought 1 time, and I played it in Strategic Reserve. I brought it in Rapid Ingress. I charged something and killed it, and then instantly it died in return. And I think that's probably what's going to happen. You're gonna have to Rapid Ingress the Brutalis Dreadnought, because if you try and run it across the middle of the battlefield, the opponent will just blow it away. So you're going to have to Rapid Ingress it, and here's the thing is, it'll probably Rapid Ingress in, it'll charge an opponent, and then it'll get blown away anyway. So it's a different type of unit. I prefer my fire support to sit back, like 40 odd inches away from the enemy and shoot, and then not get blown away and still be there for 3 or 4 more turns, right? Okay, so Obi-Wan 93, I think, is our final list for today. And he is using the new codex, or I guess he said Sons of Sanguinius, I guess he means Liberator Assault Group. A Ballistus and a Gladiator Lancer might be. Yeah, I mean, I would run you're right, William. I would, if you're looking for long-range fire support, the cheapest you can do that is probably a Ballistus and a Gladiator Lancer, 300 points. I wouldn't go any less than that, and I guess one of the lists earlier today, someone did 2 Ballistuses, which is 280 points, and he said that he struggled into armor. So 2 Ballistuses is probably too little in shooting. I spent 400 in my tournament list on points on shooting, on long range shooting. All the shooting I took was 48-inch range, and I spent 400 points on that. And that worked out really well for me at the event that I ran. Okay, so Captain of the Jump Pack, a Chaplain with Speed of the Primarch, a Judicaire, and the Librarian and Terminator Armor. Cool. So we got 2 Impulsors. So I think we're going to have the Chaplain in 1 Impulsor, the Judicaire in the other. I think we're going to see 12 Blade Guard in this list. So we've got 2 units of Jump Pack Assault Intercessors. We are indeed going to see 12 Blade Guard. We're going to see 2 Gladiator Lancers. We are going to see the Infiltrator Squad. We're going to see 3 Sanguinary Guard and a squad of Scouts. The 3 Sanguinary Guard are likely to be led by the Captain with the Jump Pack. And then we're going to have 10 Terminators. You know, if this was me personally, I'd probably just go 6 Sanguinary Guard with the Captain and 5 Terminators. But there is something to be said about going all in. So we've got 10 Terminators. So the Captain is with the Sanguinary Guard. The Chaplain and Judicaire with both Blade Guards and Impulsors. The Assault Intercessors for scoring as well as the Scouts. So just like double Impulsor, double Assault Intercessor, 1 squad of Scouts. So that's like 5 scoring units. Double Blade Guard for objective control. The Terminators are going to be in reserve. They're going to Rapid Ingress, Advance and Charge Help. They're going to have a crap load of Power Fists. They're going to have sustained hits from shooting and in melee. You've got the 3... You know what? Maybe this is good, actually. Maybe 10 Terminators with a sustained 1 in shooting and in melee, advance and charging. Yeah, maybe they're just like they're getting played as a missile. Do you know what? We haven't seen 10 Terminators all that often rapid ingress down and just try and be a missile. So I kind of like the ballsiness of this approach. The double lancer is nice. The double blade guard would be difficult to shift. The infiltrators for the backfield as scoring units. This is a very nice list, actually. Is there anything I don't like? Yeah, I think if it was me, I'd probably try and maybe do 6 Sanguinary Guard. And I really like Dante, so I'd probably try and do like 6 Sanguinary Guard and Dante. Probably be the difference between doing the 10 Terminators with the Librarian. I'd probably put the 6 Sanguinary Guard in Dante plus the 5 Terminators and Librarian in reserve. And one turn 2, I'd rapid ingress one of them. Turn 3, I'd rapid ingress the other one. Jim's still calling it Suns. Yeah, I think some people will call it Suns for a while, right? But no, this is a cool list. I was going to say Obi-Wan Kenobi 93. Don't you love it when you make your username some crap when you're like 10 years old and you're stuck with it forever? I hope he didn't make... I hope just...
That might be recent.
I was going to say, I hope that isn't recent. I've just offended him. Yeah. Because my email address was made by like...
quite clever.
You thought it was clever? Okay. Because my email address was made when I was like 12 and it's tragic.
Yeah,
so,
mine's like that.
Yeah,
my old one's terrible.
Yeah. So I really wish I could go back in time to my 12-year-old self and just say, just name your email address like John Stewart. That, trust me, in the long run, that's going to be better than the batshit you thought was cool when you were 12.
12-year-old you would have been like, no way.
Yeah, that's the thing. 12-year-old me wouldn't have listened, right? Okay, I'll keep hoping for my list making it in next week. Wild Ace, where I didn't see a list from you. Yeah, so I mean, I guess if I really don't think I saw a list from you because I did run through all the lists before I started the show tonight. If you enjoyed tonight's show, please leave a like on it. It does help me out. I do appreciate it. I am here every Sunday looking at army lists. As soon as this show ends, you can put your list into the comments of this video, or you can do it later in the week if you want. You need to do it 2 weeks in a row. You submit a list as well, Terrence, really? Well, I was going to say, Terrence, can you make sure someone said this to me before. Basically, the YouTube app on my phone is supposed to notify me every time I get a new comment on a video. Does anyone know when the updates for the points will come out? We think they'll be the first week of October. We think it's going to be about the 7th of October. So the YouTube app on my phone is supposed to notify me every time I get a comment. It has to be a new comment, though. If it's a reply to an existing comment, I don't get notified. And I can't really filter by replies. It has to be like a new comment, not a reply. I'm sorry you guys are listening. Pick up. Please email. Please do it again. Please make sure it's a new comment, either on this video or the community post, or just DM me on Discord and call it out that I missed you, and I will make sure that I prioritize you guys next week. I'm really sorry. But yeah, I mean, if they aren't if they aren't a new comment, I don't get notified. But I'm confused. I don't know why I didn't see the notification. So I think sometimes someone said that happened before. So maybe occasionally YouTube doesn't send me a notification when there's a new comment. But I do try and make sure I get them all. I'm sorry I missed you. Anyway, if you need it before then, if you DM me on Discord, if you've got an event this week or something, you want some feedback, I can do that as well. So that's fine. But yeah, anyone else that wants to get their list on a future show, drop it in the comment, and we'll be back Wednesday night. I'm playing Imperial Knights with the Liberator Assault Group. I'm going to keep my list as it is, I think. I've played it once. And we'll see how I get on against Liberator Assault Group, because I'm... Sorry, I'll see how we get on against Imperial Knights. Because I thought Imperial Knights were like a problem for Sons of Sanguinius, and that was when we had all the Infernal Pistols and all the Power Fists. So it'll be interesting to see how we get on against Imperial Knights. So I'll be live on the channel Wednesday night from 7:30. So hopefully I'll see some of you guys live on Wednesday. I hope you have a great week. Thanks so much for watching. And if not, well, we'll catch you some point in the near future. Yeah, Terrence, definitely DM me though. I don't know what's happened there. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Good evening, and we'll see you all soon. Different topic. Sisters of Battle. Yeah, I need to do a video on all the allies, man. Or at least break down some of the best ones, William. Yeah, I think when I play Andrew on Wednesday night, he's bringing some Imperial Agent allies, and I think after the game on Wednesday night, I'll see if I can borrow his codex. Just so I can get fully clued up on the allies that some people are taking and see if there's some interesting options. As soon as someone wins an event with Blood Angels with the new points as well, we'll cover that as soon as that happens. So we'll try and do that too. Cool. All right. Have a good evening. Thanks so much for watching. Good night.